Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. It is Bruce Jordan, the Michael Jordan Hotels, and today we're going to be talking about revenue management tricks that they never teach you.
It was prophesied that another Jordan will be born who will be greater than Michael Jordan, but he won't be the MJ of basketball. He will be the MJ of hotels.
Prophecy fulfilled. This episode is brought to you by besthotelbooks.com, the #1 online hotel bookstore in the world. To check out the latest and greatest hotel books, go to besthotelbooks.com. Listen, revenue management has not changed, even though the platforms, technology, and techniques that we once used, they're all the same. It's like no one has that advantage anymore. So I'm going to go over some tricks and tips that you was never taught as a revenue manager that will increase your revenue at your hotel. Number 1, stop using these crazy numbers. Okay. Guests love numbers that they are familiar with. And even if they see them in reverse. Okay. Like if I use the rate of 119, it reminds a guest of 9/11. So of course they're going to frown upon that. If I use 7/11, our rate of 11/17, they see that number all the time. 99 all the time. The numbers have different meanings. Like if I use a number like 69, that has a different meaning to a guest. If for some strange reason, I don't know why, they love that number. So you have to make your numbers look sexy and more appealing to the guests. Guests are more attracted to things that they're familiar with. So if your numbers that you're setting and your rates are familiar to them, they're, even if it's higher or lower, they're more than likely to click into your profile because the rate that you set with the numbers that they know are familiar with is attracting them to your property. Number two, you need to expand your location. All right. A lot of people, they usually just put the area that they're in and they don't attach their hotel to anything. If your hotel is near a college, a hospital, a theme park, anything that identifies that location, where I usually take a look at the search terms to see what's being searched the most. I usually take my title of my hotel and add that to the title. So let's say it's at Westbrook Hospital. My hotel is near Westbrook Hospital. Let's say Westbrook Hospital is a very popular, famous hospital where people all around come to get surgeries or see a specific doctor. Then guess what? My new hotel name is Great Boutique Hotel Westbrook Hospital. Identify your hotel and attach it to something that's very popular and is bringing a lot of traffic so that your hotel comes up and pops up in those search engine keywords as well. Number 3, understanding and knowing the 49-cent rule. No one knows the 49-cent rule, and it's kind of weird. And the reason why no one knows the 49-cent rule is because I invented it. Let me show you how this works. Now, most rates are rounded off to whole numbers. If you set your rate at 151.05, let's say, the guest only is going to see the 151. But if I take that same rate and take it up to 151.49, the guest is still only going to see 151. A lot of the OTAs, they're reducing the amount of numbers that the guests can see. They're taking off the cents because it saves them more data. So in order to make their server prices cheap for them, they're just taking off the change. Now, if I go over that amount, if I go to 151.50, the system will automatically round it up to 152. So it doesn't make any sense for me to set a rate at 151.05 when a guest already believes they're just going to pay 151. They usually don't find out that they're actually going to pay the extra change until they get to the checkout screen. And most guests, they really don't care about the additional 44 cents. Now, let's just say you have 55,000 room nights and you use the 49-cent rule on all your room nights. You can scale your revenue to add an additional 26,000. All right. In addition, let's say you have 15,000 room nights and you're using the 49-cent rule. That's 7,350. And it goes both ways. Let's say this isn't 150.105, let's say this is 150.50. It's still going to round up to 151. So with the 49-cent rule, I'm able to give myself a whole additional 99 cents per reservation every time I'm using it. That's additional revenue that I don't have to pay anything extra for, and that the guest is willing to pay anyway. You might as well create your own keep the change program for your hotel. Don't let Bank of America just keep the change. You keep the change too for your property. And this will give you some additional revenue, and it really adds up in the long run. And finally, the last one, which is rule number 4, the best time to change your rates. Now, the best time to change your rate is when your traffic is the highest. Get your website analytics, get your reservation analytics, look at the times that the reservations are being made in your system, and that will be the best time to change your rate, is when you're at its peak. Because whether you're going to change it up or change it down, you need to know the peak time that reservations are being made in your system, because that's going to determine how many fish you're able to catch. If my rate is too high and I know my peak time is going to be at 4 o'clock, I need to change it at 4 o'clock to bring my rate down so I can catch more fish. If my rate is too low and I know the peak time is 4 o'clock, I need to increase my rate so I can slow my reservation down so I can get the maximum amount of money from my hotel before I'm sold out. So get all your analytics, get your reservation reports, figure out your peak time for your hotel, and that would be the best time to change your rate. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of MJF Hotels. My name is Bruce Jordan, and you know what we are here to do. We're here to make your reservations rise up once again.